Hello peeps, welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Monday the 28th of October. Hope you're well and you've had a good weekend. I've had a great weekend. First of all, watching the rugby, watched both games, but the main one was England going through on Saturday in the in the semi-finals against New Zealand, the All Blacks. That's almost like a final in the fucking semi-final, isn't it, to beat the All Blacks? It was like... it wasn't just beat them, it was like bash them. It was like fucking brilliant, all over them. Hopefully they do it again because you've got to play South Africa in the final next Saturday. And already people are planning to head to the pub and get pissed. It's weird because it's on at 8 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? Or 9 o'clock in the morning. So you have to go everyone's on about meeting up in the pub to watch it and stuff. But and then you're drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning. You'll be fucking... You won't know where you are by 12 o'clock. You'll be all disorientated. Well, you just have to stay out, wouldn't you? You'd have just to stay out all day, celebrating or commiserating, one way or the other. But it's going to be good. It's exciting, and I still don't know what's going on. That's why I like it. It intrigues me, rugby. I'm learning all the time, and it's funny because they know that people don't know what the hell's going on because they're always explaining the rules. Because I know people just fucking think, "What the fuck is it? What's just happened there?" And they have to keep doing the ref has to keep doing the video screen, and they explain every time I watch it. I'll find out something I didn't know before. So it's good fun while you're learning. But don't plan on going there because apparently there's a rip off going off. England rugby fans will have to stump up. Why just England? What about South Africa as well? Will have to stump up silly money if they want to see the World Cup final against South Africa in Japan. Go to the final, 12 grand. Some people that might be, fuck it, it's worth the cost, but 12 grand, I'd rather just fly there and watch it in the pub and keep the 12 grand in my pocket and spend 12 grand travelling around Japan. Not because I'm not a patriot and I would want to go and I want to see England, but you see more on the TV screen anyway, don't you? You see, if you go to a ground, I went to Twickenham once and we paid 85 quid and we're right in the back at the top. They're saying the nosebleeds. That's how fucking far up you are, and you're kind of watching it, but you can't see what the shit's going on. It's like you can't. And then you have to buy. My mate bought a thing called a ref whistle, which is like a thing you put in your ear, and it's like connected to what the referee's saying. You have to pay a fiver for it. I didn't buy one because I thought, well, what's the point? I can just see what's going on. Well, he's got the fucking full, because you can't see. You just when rugby, you just see them all in the ball, or in the scrum and all that kind of stuff. You can't see much, but when you're on the screen watching on the TV, you can see all sorts. You can see everything basically. So no, I'd keep the 12 grand and watch the game properly on the TV screen rather than not know what the hell's going on in the ground. Obviously, you're gonna you'll have good atmosphere in the pub, but you won't have the same atmosphere as you get in the ground. But anyway, there we go. I'm telling rugby fans how to suck eggs here, but there's a lot of people who are not into rugby who weren't like me, and you might be getting into it, but that's the deal. And also, what I like about the rugby is the fans all sit together and everybody drinks and gets pissed and they're all together, and nobody kicking off if one loses or the other one. They commiserate or they congratulate. Not like in football where fucking you can't even before the game started, it doesn't matter. You couldn't be in each other's half. You just get your fucking head kicked in. No matter if you was a family man or anything else. It's moody. So anyway, that's what I like about rugby. Let's move on to something totally unrelated, and I'm just going to get this one out of the way. It's in the news that what's he called? The ISIS terrorist boss Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. It's a fucking mouthful anyway. I'm glad he's gone because I never have to say his name again. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. I said it right a second time there, I think, but I'm not going to say it again. He's dead anyway, and I think I'll speak for all of us when I say fucking good news. And it's always fucking. It's almost like a. I don't know. It's always a good feel factor when you see that happen, don't you? Because these people just fucking. They sort of hide out for years, and you just think fucking, and they're organising all shit for years on end, and they just hide in these places. I mean, 10 years, how long did it take to get Bin Laden? Fucking 10 years or something. So you almost think that it's never going to happen, and then all of a sudden, because you don't hear nothing about it, bang, he's gone. And it's you know, brave people who went in and did it, and no Americans got hurt apparently, so that's good. So the Americans aren't all bad, that's for sure. But all of a sudden, was it Donald Trump said that he died like a dog, and he died kicking and screaming, or well, screaming anyway, blew himself up. So, but he didn't want to blow himself up. That's the point. He was crying. So there you go. Anyway, Donald Trump went to a was it a baseball game, World Series? I don't know if it's baseball. I didn't look to see what the actual game was, but it was at the sporting event. And I think he was expecting everyone to be like fucking giving him the love because of what just happened. I mean, obviously it's the military that did it, but he obviously was had to give the okay. But he was there, and everyone was booing him and telling him to singing "Lock him up, lock him up, lock him up," and he's there clapping and going like clapping the crowd and like they're all smiles and everything like that. And you can see a couple of his aides wincing, like as if to say, "Has he noticed?" kind of thing. But he's like clapping and smiling. But inside, he's got to know. But I think he's that much of a narcissist. I'd love to know what he's going to come out and say. He thinks that they were singing. It's got to be something along the lines of "He's the best, he's the greatest, and fucking we all love you and bow to the Almighty." That's what he's heard when everyone's going, yeah. Everyone's going fucking lock him up, locking up. He's the one going like that. So anyway, that's one good thing that he's done under his belt. But he's kicking off and causing problems everywhere else. So don't just fucking. And it's not the end of the problem either, because ISIS, they've already reappointed a new leader. You'd think fucking somebody would just go, "Oh fuck that, I ain't doing that job." It's Moody. You're guaranteed to get killed at some point down the line. What was it? He had 20 million quid on his head bounty. So what they should do as soon as this new guy comes in, put 20 million straight on his head. You know what I mean? Because somebody's grassed him up. It was somebody who was a close aide of his, that guy, who grassed him up, and he got like, obviously if it's 20 million on, and you can go, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the fucking information for 20 million. And they agree, and it's all done. So straight away, whack 20 million quid on the new guy's head. You'll have him out of there. Fucking hell. Give me the hotline to the White House. I know how to deal with this shit. Fuck me. How long does it take? Back over this side of the pond, as we like to say, senior Labour figures have become embroiled in a row over whether giraffes are gay. Come on, we've got worse things to worry about in this country than to argue over whether giraffes are gay. Come on, we've got to. Are they? I mean, are they gay? I don't think they are. Shadow Equalities Minister Dawn Butler was giving a speech about LGBT teaching in schools, and she said that 90% of giraffes are gay. Well, there you go. There's a new one on me. We'll have to fucking get the. I don't know. Is there a dictionary for that sort of thing? No, we'll have to ask David Attenborough or put it out there into the Twitter sphere or something and see what we get back. But that Twitter, you don't get anything, no serious answers back anyway. You wouldn't fucking know. But let's just accept people for who they are and live as our true, authentic selves. Being what you are is not a disease. But one of Jean Corbyn's senior advisors said she was delivering foolish words and even suggested it was homophobic. Well, I don't know if it's homophobic. It's not really. It's kind of fucking. It's not talking about gay men, is it? It's talking about gay giraffes. I don't know how to explain this one. You know what I mean? I don't want to dig myself into a fucking hole. Anyway, she's saying, she's saying there's no romance, no court. Oh no, this person's saying that giraffes behaved with each other was not gay behaviour because there is no romance, no courtship, no affection, no pair bonding, just sex. No, he doesn't say that, but he's just said that studies show male giraffes only engage in sexual activity with younger males to assert dominance. So, well. That could be fucking dominant sex, couldn't it? No, fuck it. No, I'm saying like there's they're having sex with males, but that's like an instinct or a thing that they do. I mean, it's not home. It's not. They're not like permanently gay, are they? Is what I'm trying to say, because they sleep with females as well. They're bisexual. Let's put it that way. No, I don't even know where to say. They obviously have interaction or intercourse with males. Some of them do, not all of them, and it's just it's behaviour that probably many animals do, but we don't know the reasons for it. Let's just leave it there. But what's the other one saying? Oh no, she's giving a lot of similarities there to dark fucking like films like what's it called? Deliverance, not Deliveroo. Fucking hell, Deliverance. No, it's not really nothing to do with Deliverance. It's basically instinct of that animal. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm just saying that she's the one getting into trouble about it by bringing it up. I suppose you're opening yourself up by saying anything like that anyway, ain't you? But she's referring to people being taught about it in schools, because a lot of people have got a bee in their bonnet about people or kids being taught that at schools. But at the end of the day, they're going to find out of him somewhere, and they've got to hear of it. It's like sexual education. You've got to hear about that sort of stuff somewhere. So school's the place. So if it's part of society and it's part of and people want to be included, or not have fucking people go, you got to teach it from an early age. So kids are not stupid. Kids are very what's the word, open-minded and what's the they accept everybody is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let's move on to the 30-stone pig living in a flat, which had to be rescued by 999 crew. Because I've seen this before. Somebody bought a pig. You see them cute little, what are they called? Micro pigs. Somebody bought a micro pig, which turned into a 30-stone pig living in, and the woman didn't get rid of it, which is good, because some people have a dog for a couple of months and just get pissed off because it's shit on the carpet, and they're just fucking, they get rid of it for silly reasons, and that's a shame. But this person had this situation and kept it, and the pig was called Twiglet, which is like a nice name for a little pig, isn't it? But then Twiglet became a 30-stone pig and became fucking, I don't know what a large version of the word Twiglet is, but anyway, the woman has died, and the pig had to be rescued. So now they've put it to sleep, and then I thought, how did they do that? Get that pig out? But they put it to sleep, and then they stretched it out of there, I think, and it's now living on a farm and enjoying itself. And the good thing about it is it's too old to, hopefully, to be. It's living in a sanctuary, not a farm, because it's not going to end up as food, which is good. Good news. Good news. What's it called? This one's good funny. Ralph Little, the royal family, the guy from Ralph Little, once drafted a letter to Jimmy Savile asking him for help to draw like Rolf Harris. Remember the Jim will fix it letters? I'm sure I sent one of them as well. Fucking hell, he had everybody in the bag, didn't he? Everybody's kind of like fucking sigh of relief that he didn't answer any of those Jim will fix it letters. I think we might have did it at school, you know what I mean? Like the class will write a Jim will fix it letter. Can you imagine? But that's the way it was. And then fucking, what's it called? Perfect vehicle for him, wasn't it, as well? But anyway, he wrote in asking to be able to draw like Rolf Harris, who could foresee that kind of situation in the future. And, those two were the fucking, the top of kids' TV at the time as well. And Rolf Harris was like fucking what a drawer. So I had some of his pictures, signed prints. I think they were a few years ago. And fucking I had one. I sold it for good money, and the other one was like I had it whilst he became known as a paedophile, or as when he got sent to prison and stuff. So the value went right down the fucking pan. So I ended up losing loads of money on that one. I only bought them to sell, but I bought them and I lost dough on that one. So fuck you, Rolf Harris. After you know, exciting me with all your paintings when I was a kid, and then you go and fucking turn out to be like that. So must be a proper fall from grace, because he can't get away from who he is, and he can't get away from you know, everybody knowing who he, even if he couldn't even, you know, everybody in his street or anybody in his town knows him, don't they? Everybody everybody in the country knows Rolf Harris. Everybody in the world, probably. Not everyone in the world, but, you know, anybody who watches fucking English TV. But if he goes, like a non-paedophile, for instance, could move towns or move countries or whatever and disappear, and like nobody would know who they were. He's just moved in next door. But if Rolf Harris comes and moves in next door, he can't get away from himself, can he? So wherever he goes, he's Rolf the paedophile. So unfortunately, he just has to sit and, well, fortunately for his victims, he has to sit and fucking suffer that. So good. And that's, you know, that's kind of part and parcel of it, isn't it? Anyway. Experienced policemen are furious that snowflake trainees can opt out of training exercises if they find them too much. Junior officers are warned they may hear swearing and offensive views in these real-life examples of crime. The cops have blasted the mollycoddling, saying young officers need to toughen up to cope with life on the beat. Yeah, life on the beat with double the work because there's not enough policemen. You can't fucking be a snowflake and become a copper, can you? It's almost a sackable offence, I'd imagine. You know, you can't have it. It's like, surely that's a point to not be able to get past the training stage. It's gone. Remember, once upon a time, you had to be. You couldn't even apply to be in the police unless you were 6 foot, and then there was like, you know, loads of really difficult tests or whatever else that most people wouldn't get in. But now it's almost like, you know, they need whoever they can. It's good. It's more of an open door, because it was like a bit one-dimensional, wasn't it? But now it's a bit varied. You know, I think you probably couldn't even have tattoos, couldn't all this, that, and the other. I saw a policeman the other day, and he had fucking neck tattoos and everything. So I thought, that's cool. You know, at the end of the day, he wants to be a policeman. Doesn't matter if he likes art on his body. And it won't fucking matter when he's taking down some knife wielding fucking whatever. Somebody's got to do it, and like, you know, you can't be too fussy, because probably a lot of people don't want to in this climate. So take the ones that do. Anyway, let's move on, and just don't bother applying if you're a snowflake, because you're going to come up against. You're going to be fucking crying your eyes out the whole time, aren't you? What did I see earlier? Somebody put on a picture in the paper, Reg out of the bill. Remember Reg out of the bill? 9 years since the bill ended, they printed a picture of him in the paper earlier of him looking, and like they said, he looks unrecognisable as Reg out of the bill. And it's probably trying to do that because he's probably sick of being recognised as Reg out of the bill. But he had long hair, and like, you know, you couldn't recognise him, which was the point. But now, obviously, we can, because they've put him in the paper, so he's probably pissed off about that. What we got here? One of 9 surviving copies of the Sex Pistols is God Save the Queen. He's going to sell for 15 grand. So if you've got one of them, one of 9 surviving copies. Oh well, if you got one of the 9, then it's worth 15 grand. So there you go. Is there no more? That Sex Pistol stuff goes for good money, doesn't it? What was Malcolm McLaren's son did the other few years ago? I thought, fucking, he had a load of Sex Pistols memorabilia of Malcolm McLaren's when he died, and he fucking burnt it all. He put it out took it out on the Thames as some kind of stunt to show that, like, you know, it's about punk and not about the money. And he burnt it all, and like, fucking hell, there's a few people thinking, God, if he could give us one of them, or he should just give it out to people. Give it out to fucking homeless people and let them have a piece of the memorabilia each. That's punk. Turning somebody who's fucking having to live a life of grime into, like, you know, go out and do something with it. I think that's more fucking punk than burning it on the Thames. Anyway, but I think it was all about anti-establishment and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully he got paid to do it. I think there's no way you wouldn't just do that if you didn't have any money. So he's obviously got some kind of backing. He must have got paid to do it and equivalent of the money. I bet you. That's my opinion. Dave Benson Phillips, the TV presenter, made a Twitter blunder. I saw this. He put on, "Don't forget to put your cocks back instead of clocks." And everybody was fucking getting in touch with him. And I think he came on and said, "I don't. Sorry about that. I was drunk waiting for a takeaway, and I've typed it." And I think I put a reply saying, "But I've already put my cock back now." I thought I'd get involved. Anyway, I think he meant to do it on purpose. He was pissed and he thought it'd be funny. But in the morning, he's woke up because he's a TV presenter and he's a nice guy. So he probably woke up and thought, "Fucking hell, what did I do that for? That's a keeler. My mate bought me. Fucking, it's his fault." And then he's gone, "Oh, I didn't type that." No, Dave, come on, we know. Don't worry, it's funny. You're not going to lose your job over it, hopefully. Kurt Cobain's Sex Pistols. Kurt Cobain's cardigan sold for £334,000, $334,000, with a cigarette burning and everything. His cardigan he wore on MTV. So fucking hell, I've got a few old cardigans. If anybody wants to buy one, just imagine when I'm famous in a few years' time, that cardigan could be worth something. I don't mind. I'll burn it with a cigarette. I'll make it authentic and used. But anyway, yeah, so £334,000. But he's had to fucking die for that to be worth that. And it's a shame because, he died younger. But it's a weird price to pay, isn't it? Because it's frozen in time. He's always Kurt Cobain of that age and of that era. He's frozen with that good music. He hasn't gone on to make any kind of mediocre music and kill the buzz a little bit. He's stuck in time, but it's a sad price to pay, unfortunately. As many other have. Fucking Amy Winehouse, James Dean, fucking hell, I mean, James Dean looks cool as fuck. No matter any picture you've seen of him, he looks cool as fuck, and he looks like well, he doesn't look his age. He's 22 when he died. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's 22 when he died, and in a car accident. But he looks way older and more and lived in and more rugged and whatever than his age. So you look at 22-year-olds. They don't look any age, do they? They look young and baby faced and haven't lived. But he's just had that cool fucking thing and and he's stuck. He's frozen in time, and it's like. Again, sad price to pay, but fucking he lives on, doesn't he? So many won't. Many of us won't. Nobody. I'll be forgot. Fucking. It won't take long for people to forget who I was. Well, I've got these podcasts out there now. Maybe someone will find them in hundreds of years' time, because it's not going to be like the olden days where we're finding old tools and shit like that. We're gonna have all this stuff on the TV recorders. Imagine there was peasants or in the fucking King Arthur days or King Henry VIII days or whatever else, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and they all had video recorders like this and were making little videos like the shit videos like this. Imagine. We'd all be watching them going, fucking them blokes were weird, aren't they? They're probably talking about, "Oh, my mate's been arrested, hung, drawn and quartered last night. I'm putting out an appeal. I think he's and somebody else is missing." It'd be all that kind of stuff. Anyway, 1 in 10 cinema goers have walked out on a film after folk started snogging near them. I definitely would. I can't handle people eating. I certainly can't handle people eating each other. It's they're gonna be slopping. I can't handle the distractions when you're trying to watch the film. And that is just going to be. It's going to be a lot of subtle slopping in it. It would wind me right the fuck up. I'd have to tell them. I think. Kill the buzz, wouldn't it? They're having a fucking good time, and that's like some old fart, some fucking fart. Come on, I'm trying to watch the film here. I'll probably get a fucking bucket of popcorn chucked on my head or something. So maybe I wouldn't say anything. I would just fucking get to myself and just be pissed off to myself, as usual. You can't really sort of fucking tell people stop doing that. I don't want to come across that way. So carry on, snog all you like, because I probably won't be in the cinema anyway. If I do, I'll be in the sort of fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon when it's mostly empty cinema. You know, like the old, or the one of them ones where it's like, what's the ones where the ones in the fucking nudie ones, like from the fucking 80s, like it's in American Werewolf, when he goes into the cinema and there's only a few people dotted about watching that porno. Yeah, I won't be that guy. Right, okay. Poundland will unveil a range of £10 products from next month. The chain launched a 24 store trial. Poundland, Poundland are going to be selling £10 stuff in Poundland, but it's not Poundland, is it? It's £10 You can't fucking do it, and they're doing it all. They've already got £2 stuff in there, £3 stuff, £4 stuff. I don't like it. I always found Poundland the most easiest place to deal with, because you go in there, there's no enough to fucking pick anything up and see what it costs. It's literally everything's a quid, and it's good because you get good value in there. But you just know it's like stress free. You just know everything's the same price. Bang, done. Now you'd be picking things up and going, oh fucking, I thought that was £1. It's a tenner. You'd be like, you know, I don't want to go into Poundland to buy my £10 stuff. Thank you. I'll buy that elsewhere. Right, bank customers are being left cashless and cut off after unacceptable IT failures, MPs have warned. I'll tell you, I'm only bringing that up because that happened to me today. I put fucking 350 quid in the machine in the bank that you put the cash in. It swallowed it and went, sorry, we can't give you your money back, and here's your card back. That's all it said to me. So I gave him my card back. I thought, well, has the money gone in or not? So I had to go to the teller, and she went, oh, we've been having problems with it. She goes, how much did you put in? And you know what? I didn't fucking quite know. I wasn't quite sure. So I was like, 330, but I might have undercut myself. I should have overpriced it, but because I think if it's gone in and chucked in with all the money, how are they going to know how much I put in? So I might have missed a trick there without saying 600 or 800 or something, because I didn't get to type it in. So balls. I said 330, and it could have been more because the machine counts it and normally tells you back, and I'm unsure. So there you go. A fool and his money. Right, I'm going to finish up on. What I'm going to finish up on. Have I peaked too early? I've got a fucking one thing I can finish up on, surely. Monkeys call in dialects and learn accents when joining a new colony, a study has found. Scientists logged 10,000 calls of common I've covered that bit up. Marmosets before and after they moved into a new colony. That's like a Brummie moving to London, isn't it? It's the same, or a Cockney moving to Birmingham, or Scouse moving to Manchester. We could go on and on, all the different dialects. So monkeys have got different accents, and they're from different regions. They've got like different sounding. Some monkeys are going to be more sexy sounding than others, i.e. some Brummie monkeys are going to be more sexy sounding than others, and some are going to be worse, but I think anyway, they all get along. As long as they all get along, it's all good in my book. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you later. Bye bye.